Okay, my apologies. The slide presentation, the lecture just cut off unknown to me at this point when we were discussing the nervous system. So I'll pick it up here. The nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord, as well as the sensory nerves and the motor nerves, as well as the autonomic nervous system. And we'll talk a little bit about those here. The central nervous system, of course, is the brain and the spinal cord, and that's the main part of the nervous system. The peripheral nervous system, out here in the periphery, out here in your arms and legs and chest, away from the brain and the spinal cord, are your sensory nerves and your motor nerves. Your sensory nerves take sensory information, hot, cold, pleasure, pressure, pain, and relay that information back to the brain, where a motor response is sent through the motor nerves. So if you hold your finger over a candle, your sensory nerves are going to say hot, send that information to the brain. The brain is going to send a motor response to move your finger away from the flame. Now, the autonomic nervous system, think of it as the automatic nervous system. It is in control of all your involuntary motor functions. You don't have to think about constricting or dilating your bronchioles to breathe. You don't have to think about constricting or dilating your pupils to see. You don't have to think about constricting or dilating your blood vessels in order to keep the pressure up in your system. You don't have to think about pulsating or pushing food through the GI tract. These are things that just happen automatically in response to your environment, and those are under the control of the autonomic nervous system. The digestive system provides the mechanism by which food travels through the body and is digested. This pulsating movement of food through the system is known as peristalsis, and the digestive system includes the stomach, actually includes the mouth, the teeth, the esophagus, the stomach. Food is chewed and saliva or digestive enzymes are added to the food as you swallow it. It ends up in the stomach, where it stays for about 3 hours and is mixed with gastric acid and gastric juices, and the food is further broken down, and then it's passed into the small intestine, which is made up of 3 parts: the ileum, the duodenum, and the duodenum, and then as it travels through those different parts of the small intestine, different digestive processes occur, the digestion of amino acids, the digestion of fats, those sort of things. And then as it gets into the large intestine, which is made up of the transverse colon, the descending colon, the anus. In the large intestine, further digestion occurs. The removal of water occurs. That's where we get our body water, is through our colon. And that's also where stool is formed. Then you have accessory organs that are an important part of the digestive system as well. You've got the liver, which detoxifies and filters blood, and within the liver is the gallbladder, which releases bile, and bile is important for breaking down fatty acids. The pancreas secretes pancreatic fluid, which is important for the breakdown of amino acids, but it also secretes a very important fluid known as insulin. The spleen is there as a filter as well, and the appendix has really no purpose other than to become inflamed, infected, and have to be surgically removed. The integumentary system is your skin, and the whole purpose of the integumentary system, your skin protects you from germs. It helps provide water balance by sweating. It also helps regulate your body temperature by sweating. The skin excretes oils that are important to keep your skin smooth, and it also absorbs traumatic force. So shock not in the form of hypoperfusion, but shock as the result of a blow. Your skin will absorb a tremendous amount of traumatic force before it tears. So it acts as a shock absorber. The skin is made up of several layers. You got the epidermis, epi on top of the skin. Dermis is the skin itself. And then the subcutaneous, sub referring to below, cutaneous skin. So below the skin. So the epidermis is made up of several layers, and below the epidermis is the sensory receptors. You've got hundreds of thousands of sensory receptors running under the epidermis that pick up and sense, again, pressure, pleasure, pain, hot, cold, those sort of things. Below the epidermis, you have the dermis, and within the dermis are your sebaceous or your sweat glands, as well as your erector pili muscles, which cause your hair to stand on end, or when they close up, goose pimples. And then you've got your hair follicles, which grow out of the hair follicle, which grows out of the hair follicle. Also within the dermis, you have capillaries and those sort of things. Below the dermis, you have the subcutaneous layer where your nerves, arteries, and veins run, as well as subcutaneous fat. The endocrine system is it's a very important system. It's a very complicated system of glands that secrete hormones. You've got the pineal gland located in the brain. You've got the pituitary gland located in the brain as well. The pituitary gland is the master gland. It helps regulate other endocrine glands. The pineal gland is responsible for your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycles. The thymus gland located in the neck is responsible for helping develop a strong immune system. The thyroid gland and the parathyroid glands are very important for the retention and excretion of calcium. Calcium is a very important electrolyte, a very important substance that you need in your body to help muscles contract, along with sodium and potassium. Calcium, magnesium, those are all very, very important electrolytes that you must have at a certain amount in order for your muscles all to function properly, to include your heart. The thymus, we already said, is immune system. Then we get down into the female reproductive organs, where we have the ovaries. The ovaries regulate female reproduction system. They help, they secrete eggs or ovums, as well as help with the secretion of female hormones like estrogen and progesterone. The adrenal glands are located atop of the kidneys. The adrenal glands secrete epinephrine, norepinephrine, aldosterone, and these are all hormones that help regulate water, help regulate electrolyte, help regulate blood pressure, those sort of things. The pancreas helps regulate your blood sugar levels by secreting not only insulin, but a chemical known as glucagon. Glucagon raises blood sugar in your body, and insulin lowers blood sugar in your body. And then with the male reproductive, you have the testicles, which regulate the male reproduction system by the production of sperm, semen, and the production of testosterone. The renal system is very important in the system as well. The renal system includes your kidneys, includes your ureters, includes your bladder, and your urethra. We know that kidneys filter blood, and during the filtration process, the kidneys help eliminate harmful substances. The kidneys help regulate sodium, potassium, and calcium levels in your body as well. The kidneys help regulate water levels by either making urine or not making urine, as the case may be, if you need to conserve water or if you need to get rid of water. We know that the kidneys also can produce stones. kidney stones, known as renal colic, and as those stones are passed through the ureters, they cause excruciating pain. The female reproductive system includes the breast, where milk is produced, the uterus is the site of the development of the fetus. You've got fallopian tubes and ovaries. The ovaries secrete an egg. The egg is traveled into the fallopian tube, where it is fertilized and then makes its way into the uterus, where it attaches to the uterine wall and develops into a human being. The vagina is receives semen during intercourse, is known as the birth canal during birth as well. And then you've got the vulva, which protects the vaginal orifice, and the urinary medius, or the opening to the bladder. The male reproductive system, you have the testicles, again, which produce sperm and secretes testosterone. You've got the epididymitis, where sperm is stored. You've got the vas deferens, which transports the sperm to the urethra, and the seminal vesicles, which secrete the fluid for semen. And the prostate gland also secretes fluid for semen, and the bulbourethral gland, which also secretes fluid for semen. And then the penis, of course, delivers semen during intercourse, and is the place where urine leaves the body as well. So remember that metabolism requires a constant supply of oxygen and sugar, and the absence of either of these disrupts normal metabolism. And it's the cardiopulmonary system working together, the respiratory system and the cardiovascular system working together, that provide the oxygen at the cellular level. And that when that fails, that's when shock occurs or hypoperfusion occurs, when these organs are not receiving adequate perfusion. And we'll discuss in detail what happens when you go into shock, when we hit that part in the shock chapter. The body is composed primarily of water. I think it's well over 65% of the body is made up of water. And this fluid is distributed throughout all body systems through a very complex process that's regulated by the kidneys. And should you have any questions, again, you can contact your primary instructor, who of course can contact me. Thanks. Talk to you soon.